There's no water. This is the effect of the poor rainy season that we've just had. Because normally at this time of the year, this dam should be 100%. Seke dam over there should also be 100%. But we see that it's only 7% and Seke is about 6.3%. So virtually there is no water in these dams at this time of the year, which shows that we are in a drought situation which we have to manage in terms of water supply for the city of Harare and the other local authorities around it. We are now moving into the water rationing mode, where we have to use some stricter measures in terms of water supply. This means then that people have to reduce the amount of water that they are using, and the city also will reduce the amount of water that we can pump into the city. It's not just a reduction, but we cannot pump anything from here, so we have to rely on Modern Jeffrey alone. So our outputs have gone down and we have to share that. So the timetable that we have, the preliminary timetable that we have since published, we'll continue to refine it, but it's indicating that people will go without water for certain days of the week. The issue of water treatment chemicals, there have been challenges. We've got two suppliers of the major chemical, aluminium sulfate, that we've been using, and they just, as we were getting into last weekend, there was a delay in delivery of that chemical. We were relying mostly on our local manufacturer of the chemical, who also seemed to have some challenges. Now, instead of the 4 or 5 loads that would expect a day, we are currently getting 2 or 3. So there is a shortage in that gap, but the other supplier is since supplied just to close the gap. But we still have those challenges. We are working together with the suppliers to make sure that it's smooth and then we have adequate stocks.
Yes, so it is unfortunate that we are in this situation, but it is a crisis. And we know that people need at least 20 liters of water per day. In a situation like this, people will be will be fetching water from what we normally call safe sources. So they will be going to shallow wells, they will be going to poorly constructed boreholes, they will go to streams. So the advice there is that these sources of water are not very safe. So you should treat water that you get from these sources before you use it for domestic consumption. So by treating, I mean you boil the water, you use aqua tablets, you use whatever is there that will denature the bacteria so that you do not then get these diseases such as typhoid or cholera. So it is important to treat water in this instance regardless of source. The next step will be, in the unfortunate event that you do fall sick or you don't feel well, please go to the nearest health facility and seek treatment early. Do not wait until you complicate. Just go to the nearest health facility. At least for the city of Harare, we know that if you go there with these symptoms of abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, vomiting, you will be treated for free. So go there. There should not be any barrier to treatment. So go and seek treatment early. We also expect, or we anticipate that we might have outbreaks, silent ones or loud ones. So we might have outbreaks. We are asking the residents to please report any unusual number of people that are not feeling well, so that we can institute investigations as soon as possible so that we avoid unnecessary disasters.